Y'all, today I have to use this Unplugged episode to talk about something that happened to me earlier this week. It was outrageous and crazy, and I'm just really not sure what to think of it. And maybe if you are out there listening to this and have had experience with this, you can write me in my show notes, or you can find me on Instagram at Danielle_on_the daily and let me know your thoughts, because this is wild. Okay, so I think I saw a time traveler. Stay with me. I know we're about to take a deep dive, and you either are going to listen to this and be like, girl is crazy, or you're going to listen to this and you're going to have a similar experience. I feel like there's going to be no in between. So I think I saw a time traveler. Here's what happened. I was driving home, and in my rearview mirror, I see this old car coming up behind me. We're talking 1910. We're talking one of the first cars maybe ever built, one of those old rusted ones that only had two seats and really no lights, and the license plate came up off the back of it. It pulls up behind me, and it's not refurbished. It literally looks like it's straight out of the 1910s. And in the car, I'm just watching this in my rearview mirror. And in the car, there was an older man driving who looked like he was a period actor. He had old wire glasses on with an old kind of beat up shirt and suspenders. And he was laughing. And in the passenger seat, there was this older woman with a floppy hat and a dress, an older dress, looked like it's straight out of, both outfits looked like they were straight out of the 1910s with her dress had a pinafore on it. And they were just looking like they were having the best time. And I was just kind of laughing. I was thinking, oh, that's fun. They must be going to a car show or something. We have a lot of car shows in Los Angeles, and sometimes people will dress the part. And I have never seen a car that hadn't been refurbished. It just literally looked like it drove right out of the 1910s. So I was, I thought to myself, oh, I should take a picture for Owen so I could show it to him. So I stick my phone on selfie mode out of my driver's window to take a picture of this car. And as I'm looking at my phone to take a picture, there's no car behind me. On my screen, there's nothing behind me. And I look back in the rearview mirror and the car's, and then I look at my phone and the car's not there. And then I turn around and the car's not there. There's no car there. There's no car there at all. And guys, I stared at this car in my rearview mirror and the people in this car for at least 15 seconds. And for everybody that's going, oh, they must have turned or they must have left or something. No, we were at a stoplight. They couldn't get by me because it wasn't one of those lanes where the right-hand lane opened up and you can turn right. No, they had to wait until I went, and the light was still red. And there were no driveways or alleyways or anything they could have pulled up behind. And they were literally right behind me. And so I there was no car. And so in my mind, now I'm freaking out, and I think I saw a time traveler. That's literally my logic has gone out the window with me lately. The more I learn about spirituality and dual timelines and just past lives and all these things, nothing would surprise me anymore. I'm just kind of at this point in my life where I'm nothing surprises me. And I think I saw a time traveler. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why did I get to see the time traveler? What significance does this have in my life? But has anybody ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced, there was no car. I went to take a photo of this car. There was no car. And I stared at this car in my rearview mirror for 15 seconds. And no, I was not on drugs. No, I don't do drugs. No, I was not overtired. No, I was not under the influence of anything. I was coming home from SoulCycle. Crazy. And then, of course, it gets me thinking. I go off on tangents. Then I'm oh my gosh. So if time travel's real, then what even is time? And is time even a thing? And are we even on our timeline, or what is time? And are there rifts in the timeline? Nikola Tesla, if you've ever read his studies or looked into Nikola Tesla, he talks so much about time travel and proved it. And when he died, a lot of his documents were seized by the government, and they've never been revealed and they've never been opened, because people say that it's because he had figured out time travel and space continuum and all these things. And if that is true, and if there are wrinkles in time, wouldn't that be crazy if you I don't know. Then who are we even? what are we even doing here? Again, you're either thinking I'm absolutely psycho right now and you're unsubscribing from this podcast, or you're like, whoa, Danielle, that's crazy. Like, anybody try to explain that to me. I don't know. I kind of think it's all real, and there maybe are just like multiple timelines happening at the same time. Then I wonder, was Steve Jobs, like, was he a time traveler, or was he visited by a time traveler? And that's how he came out with Apple and like basically propelled technology thousands of years within the span of a decade. I wish I could meet a time traveler from like 2500 AD and just be like, hey, what's going to happen? I need to know. It's crazy, right? It says like, this is so off topic. Well, maybe not. It's not off topic because it just goes back to the question of like, who are we really? Like, what are we really doing here? Are we in like some simulation? Are we in the Matrix? Like, I don't know. Nothing would surprise me. And that was crazy. Straight up stared at this car with two people in it that looked like they were straight out of the 1910s in this car that looked like it literally had just driven out of the 1910s, stared at it in my rearview mirror for like 15 seconds. Went to take a picture of it. It's not there. Wild. Anyway, tell me your thoughts. This is one of those episodes you have to interact with me on. So share this episode with someone who maybe has experienced something or you think would have insight to what I experienced. And then also slide into my DMs, Danielle_on_the_daily or the podcast @on_the_daily_pod. And just tell me what you think because it's freaking wild. Have a beautiful Friday. See you on Tuesday for another episode.